All right, welcome to episode 35 of Bird Boys Podcast. My name is Mike Hunter. Fortunate enough to be here with Jeremy Greenwood, Chris Roscoe, and Matt Lennon. Um, I'm going to take a play from Jeremy's little when he usually hosts, and I'll go first. Kind of my weekend little recap. Um, Trying to think of we had our club championship here at the Schwamingen Bay Golf Club. So I was working all weekend. Went out to eat at Pizza Pub. Matt has been there many
Great
times.
wings, great wings.
Good little spot. So, and Matt, we never did this, but so upstairs in the Pizza Pub here in Ashland, they have like an arcade now. So we sat upstairs and we were literally the only people up there. And there was this candy machine that it must not have been working. So Henry found that out it was you didn't have to pay money for it. So Henry found that out. So we literally came out of it. I came back and tipped the lady, or extra guy said, "Hey, here's some money for the candy that we took." But we literally like walked out of there with like 5 handfuls of candy, which is pretty cool. Another cool little, I know I'm plugging the old Schwamingen Bay here, but a really cool thing that we had here today. His name's Patrick Koenig. He's a golf photographer. We were one of 50 courses here in Wisconsin to be selected as, as like, it's basically his internship. He's actually like 40 years old, but he literally just travels across the entire country doing photography for different courses and stuff. And we were fortunate enough to have him. So I'm actually going to be meeting up with him again here in a little bit once we get done with this. But without further ado, let's go to Matt. Matt, how was the weekend?
Weekend was good. Didn't do too much. Sarah's aunt and uncle, Jay and Kelly, which you guys know, officiated our wedding. They were gone actually this weekend, so we actually dog sat their dog Bucky. So Sarah loved that, obviously. And then we took the pontoon out after Jay Green. You probably know this. All those big storms happened Saturday. Ended here about 3:00. So actually, Darrell and his girlfriend Megan came up, took a quick spin out in the pontoon, came back, watched the Brewers. Just kind of hung out, and then
just a second before you get to that, do you want to talk about your injury that you suffered at all?
What injury?
You don't want to talk about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your foot?
What about it?
Okay, never mind.
Not sure. But yeah, Sunday didn't do anything, and then not too bad of a weekend.
All right. Well, no injuries were caused or happened on that anyway. No. So, Jeremy, how's the weekend?
Yeah, we're certainly not as nimble as we used to be. That's for sure. And I say that because we're out of the Sunday playoffs for Pirates. Lost to Ashton and Jason. And I was taking BP and it's super muggy, super hot. Storms were coming, and I could not get my breath to save my life, and like I ended up just going and sitting in the shade when I was done. Like I didn't bother shagging balls, for the rest of the guys. But lost to Ashton. And if anybody knows anything about Ashton, there's not much to the town at all. I mean, there's not much to it at all. There's not even a gas station in it, but boy, they have fans come out for their ball games, and very supportive to the Ashton A's. And what was a little frustrating though is they got a really good pitcher who they've been there for a while, and we hit him pretty well. We had like 10 hits. We had left a lot of guys on base, and we lost. I think it was 8-2, 8-3, something like that. And the pitcher's mound. I mean, we're talking like I almost could barely see over it. And I'm not a very tall guy, so that doesn't say a ton. But I mean, the pitcher's mound was 3 feet high, like just ridiculously high. And so, other than that, I mean,
they have sand infield there too, right?
Yeah, sand infield. That's funny. They got this big Field of Dreams game coming up for a major league where they go to the Iowa where they play in the Field of Dreams, and it's kind of similar to that. Like, it's kind of funny because they got a cornfield and just an all right field, left, center, and
I don't remember that.
Our manager Don, I don't think he'd care. Me telling him this, just a great guy, funny guy. Instead of going around all the fans and going to the bathroom there, he goes into the court. Everybody's watching him
go to the cornfield.
That boy, Don.
To get to the cornfield to take a piss. So, kind of funny, but yeah, that's my weekend.
And then after the game in Ashland, you head across the street to the bar. The only thing in that town.
Yeah, they have a church. They do have a church.
Oh yeah.
A church bar, and a ball field.
Yeah.
Good combo there.
Yeah.
Well, let's get it over to Chris. Chris is coming to us live from his office.
Yeah, just got done with football practice, so I'm in my office here. So if you guys hear little side notes, that's just the football players changing and getting out of here and going home and hopefully getting some food in them. But the weekend was pretty good. Just busy. Still, we're moved into our new house, but it's just unloading boxes and organizing things and decluttering things. And it's a slow process because school started for me on Monday. With kids, we started as teachers last week, but having kids back and football, I mean, and throwing the podcast, I get home, 7:00, 7:30. And by that time I got zero energy to want to unload boxes. And so I don't get a whole lot done. I get some done, but it makes for a long day, waking up at 4:30, lifting before school, football, get home, try to be a dad, husband, and then unload boxes at the same time. It makes it rough. So this weekend, though, I got a lot of that done, which was good. Still not even close, but we're getting there. Honestly, that was pretty much about it. That's pretty much all I did was just house stuff, picking weeds, mowing the lawn, patching, fertilizing, just doing all that sort of stuff to try to, be a house owner again. So that was fun.
2 questions. Are you guys doing 2-a-days?
No such
right
thing
now?
anymore.
No such thing anywhere? Is that that's not well, because for us, Chris, if you remember, ours wasn't really 2-a-days either. It was just 4 straight hours of practice.
Yeah, they put down a lot of rules and regulations now, so 2-a-days are no longer a thing.
Yeah, why is that? Just kids getting sick and whatnot, or what?
More science comes out, and it's more health based for the people, for the students. So that's part of it. The other reason too is here in the state of Colorado, football starts the same day school starts, so you can't do 2-a-days. And a lot of states are like that. Wisconsin has always been one of the, and there's quite a few in the Midwest. Basically, any school that starts after Labor Day can do 2-a-days, but for schools that are like Colorado, where we've been rolling since Monday, and Monday officially first day of practice, we just can't do it 2-a-days. So that's another reason. But I know Wisconsin, when I was at Stoughton, they switched up the rules where you can, for fall camp, it was something like you can have 2 2-hour practices, but they have to be separated by a half hour, and they can't go longer than 5 hours total time.
Couldn't you?
So you could do 2 hours, half hour off, 2 hours, but that's it.
Couldn't you just do a 3-hour?
I think that isn't that what we kind of did though.
You can't practice for more than 2 hours at a pop, because again, it's just a health thing. The kids need a break, they need water, they need to get food, etc. So some teams do different things. Like when we were with Bayer, I know Bayer did we were 8 to 11. We got a half hour off, and then we went from 11:30 to 1 or something like that. So in essence, that's kind of what we did. But now they actually have a whole bunch of rules, and I could be off a little bit on time, but in the general philosophy, that's what it's for. So some teams do that, some teams don't. Some teams will do a 2-hour practice, and then the second session will be weightlifting and film opposed to actual practicing. So different teams do different things, but the old 2-a-days where you're 7 a.m. to 9 and then 6 to 8 at night.
That's what Potts did. Yeah.
That whole thing is pretty much kiboshed now.
So 2 more questions then. When is the first game? And obviously the boys had a good year last year. How are we looking right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, first game's August 27th against our crosstown rival. So there's technically 4 high schools within Parker, but 3 of them are our same size. One of them's a smaller private school. So we play Ponderosa and Shap, our 2 rivals, and so we start with one and we end the season with the other. So we start with Pondo. Last year we were 6-0, won a first playoff game, so then we were 7-0, and then lost in the final 4. Defensively, I only lost 2 starters. So we're in a good place defensively this year. We got a lot of senior leadership. I think we got 35 in our senior class this year. And just a lot of really, really good kids, a lot of hardworking kids, a lot of coachable kids, and a lot of good leaders. So offense has a lot of speed, a lot of skill. A couple spots are going to be a little inexperienced, but they're going to learn. They're already off to a good start. And, we got a tough schedule this year, but, we'll see what happens. I don't want to make any predictions, but, we'll be in a place to have some success this year if I was a betting man.
So do you have a tough schedule based on how the teams did last year or how you're expecting them to be this year?
Both. So we look at the longevity of the success of that program, because schools out here, usually when they're successful, it's for multiple years. Some teams have had winning records out here for 15 plus years, so kind of like your Kimberleys, your Sun Prairies, your Veronas, that sort of thing. Sure. But then also, with how big Denver Metro is, and with how and social media and stuff, these kids know everybody from every team. So, they'll be like, oh, that kid's at this school now. This kid's at this school. I play 7-on-7 with him. And, so we have all the insight on teams and who they got coming up. So, our schedule strength is based on what we know from their coaching staff and their history, and then what they have coming back this year. So.
Okay. Well, leading into that, before we get into our little announcement we have, but obviously the Packers are in full swing of things. They play this Saturday too, right? Is it game this Saturday?
7:00. Yep, 7:00.
Matt LaFleur has come out and said that Mr. Rogers will not be seeing any action. Very unlikely anyways in preseason. Packers had their family night, which is something I definitely want to attend soon, hopefully in the next couple of years. That just looks like a lot of fun there. Matt and I went to training camp a few times when we were younger, and it was just a really cool experience. So yeah, it looks like obviously Jordan Love's going to be getting a lot of reps. I'm very just based off of things that I've seen on Twitter, I guess, just with Jordan Love, and it looks like he looks really good. And we were talking about it a little bit last night. It looks like our middle linebacker, the guy we picked up from Arizona last year, has been looking good. And then I actually saw something today. It's apparently Amari Rogers has been looking really good too. But I guess what maybe new players, or what maybe like an inexperienced player for you guys, are you most looking forward to kind of watching this year? Maybe start with
preseason or all year.
I would say all year on this. Like who's like maybe a younger guy who you're like really looking forward to seeing how they do this year.
You got it, Jay Green? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'll just real quick for me. And nobody's talking about him. Eric Stokes. No one's saying a word about him. He was our first round pick, and it's easy to forget him in the background when the Rodgers stuff obviously and Love and Amari Rogers is the flashy guy. The Aaron Jones re-signing this offseason, losing Jamal Williams, and the Funchess stuff recently, all that stuff. Yeah. There's just a number of things that he could easily be forgotten. But man, if what our scouting department saw in him and what they saw in Alexander is pretty similar, we should be excited. And Georgia's always developing good football players. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I guess that's my pick.
Yeah, going off of what you said, Jay Green, kind of a side note, I saw on Twitter that, obviously Kevin King's been out of training camp with injury, so Stokes has been guarding Devontae And, Rodgers here and there has just been picking them apart. And I think I saw that Rodgers came up to him and was like, hey, like, we're one of the best in the business at this. So this is only going to make you, 10 times better when you're
right.
live against, whoever. But I'm going to go with a guy, and I don't know if he necessarily counts as a young guy, but I think he's going to have a breakout season. I'm going to go with Rashawn Gary. I think depending what Preston Smith does, I mean, obviously we all hope that he comes back to his true form of what he can do. But I know towards the end of last year, Rashawn Gary
stepped up.
Yeah, he was getting more snaps than Smith. And he's only gotten better every year so far since he's been here. So I'm going to go with that pick, even though I think it's his third year in the system.
Rosh, what about you?
For me, it's Gary on defense and Myers on offense.
Yeah, that's
the center from Ohio State.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Heard a lot of good things about him, and he's been getting first-team reps. So, just excited because that's a big position when you got the MVP behind you, And he's had the same center for 9 years, and now he has someone different. It's just going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah. And I will say, obviously, I'm sure, as we all are, I'm actually really excited to watch Jordan Love in the preseason since we didn't get to last year and see what he's all about.
Yeah, we were talking. I have always liked watching preseason games. Like I'm really I like, dude. But it's cool because we obviously probably are maybe more into the Packers than maybe just to the regular fan. Maybe not. I don't know. So I'm always looking like, oh, that was our 7th round draft pick. Like, let's see how he does in the 3rd and 4th quarter right now, or so. Just I don't know. That's where I'm. But yeah, again, I'm really looking forward to watching Jordan Love too. Everything that we've seen, a couple of video clips and stuff like that. So it should be good. But yeah, the guy I'm really most is Day Segura, who got hurt last year. I think Matt LaFleur's got a lot of things up his sleeve to use for him. We kind of saw it, a little bit of it last year, but obviously he ended up tearing his ACL. So really looking forward to that. But I guess let's get right into it, Jay Green. Without further ado, we appreciate everybody that shared our posts, commented, had quite a few comments for Jay Green and Matt, I believe. So who was their favorite Berg boy? So I think Jay Green might have actually took it.
Oh, Jay Green,
not even close, kind of a landslide there. But really appreciate everybody. We're giving away two tickets.
Two Packer tickets, yeah.
2 Packer tickets, 100 level.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you're doing it, but go ahead.
No, so basically, we wrote down everybody's name, folded them. They're all in here. Everybody that shared. The one thing I want to add, if the winner could, well, the winner will, private message us and get my phone number if you don't already have it, and we'll figure out the tickets that way. But then also, because we may not be doing another show before the game, we'd appreciate if you guys could take a picture.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Sweet,
send
for
it
sure.
to us.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty cool. So without further ado, here we go. Chris?
Spin it around.
Krista Clem.
Hey!
There you go.
So that's awesome. She's an awesome person. Family friends with the Lennons growing up. And so, yeah, Krista, reach out to me and we'll get you those tickets. And that's pretty exciting. So, again, thanks, everybody, for participating. We're happy to do this. Just a way of showing our appreciation for your guys' support. So, thank you.
Perfect. Well, moving along here. Poll came out yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, Matt? Badgers?
I think it was actually yesterday.
Yeah. Ranked 15th in the country. We kind of all agreed that's kind of where I guess we really think they should be, I guess. But I don't know, the biggest thing, I'm really intrigued just to see how Mertz does this year. Obviously, if he can do what he did at the start of the season, the whole year, I think it's maybe just he's obviously very young last year. Weird year too last year. Obviously, a lot of the places, or none of the places, really had fans. So it's obviously that's going to have a factor into, everybody's game, I guess, kind of moving forward. But yeah, ranked Alabama was number 1, which obviously isn't surprising whatsoever. Side note, did you guys? This was a couple weeks ago, but did you guys see that the Alabama QB has already made like $1 million off of?
Yeah, that NIL or whatever that's called.
Yeah, Ross, did you see that at all?
Yep. That's the same. It's the same reason the quarterback from Ohio State forego his senior season and enrolled in Ohio State early is because he is able to make close to $1 million.
Maybe that's what I saw. Well, maybe that's what I saw.
Dude,
that's crazy.
I think this is going to be like, that's really going to be a slip. Like,
yeah, what?
Let's see how this really plays out. I think maybe the NCAA might have to backtrack. They're not going to, but or maybe they will. Maybe they'll backtrack on this. But
yeah,
I feel like it's just going to be, I don't know, kind of like the Wild Wild West a little bit. Like Mertz was on, I follow him on Instagram and some stuff, and he's always posting I think the old linemen are all sponsored by some restaurant barbecue place or something like that, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, we'll see. First game is in a couple weeks here for the Badgers too, right? Who are we?
Number 4th. We got Penn State at home, so open up Big Ten play.
Yeah, that's an interesting opening game. I think it's very interesting.
I think it's Saturday, 11 a.m. kickoff. I think right now the Badgers are favored by 4. But we'll see.
You said that was at home. Sorry.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, I believe it's at Wisconsin. Yep.
Yeah, and I have not been to a Badger game yet, which that's something I definitely want to do again sometime soon. But kind of moving on over to Brewers. I don't watch the Brewers very much. I saw that we dropped 2 out of 3 to the Giants this weekend.
Should have swept.
It looked like they were good games. Who's the big guy who came up clutch in the 10th inning there on Friday? What's his name?
Is that Avisel? Garcia?
Garcia, yeah. He's
Rowdy. Rowdy Tellez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude is fun to watch.
Yeah. It's just another one of those incidents where he's just been embraced. I talk about it a lot, but not that he's been embraced, but he's enjoyed his time here as well. And I think that was the same game. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Council got his 500th win.
Yep. Friday night he got his 500th. And then obviously Saturday should have won that game. Should have won Sunday. And I watching the game right now. We already took 2 from the Cubs. Now we're up 3 rip. Obviously the Cubs are pretty battered. You guys already know that. But I got a quick question for you about the Brewers. Mike, I don't know if you can answer it because you.
I'll try.
So Christian Yelich batting .226 this year. Obviously, he's had the back problems and then the COVID thing. Yesterday, Council let him off. I thought that would maybe be the spark to kind of give him something. Didn't work out. What would you guys do with Yelich? Would you move him down? Would you bench him a couple games? Just leave him where he's at?
I let him play. You don't.
Who are you asking?
Anybody?
You don't sit an MVP. If anything, maybe move him down in the order a little bit. But baseball is one of those things that it's good to take a break, maybe for a couple games. But then after that, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going until you find what you're missing, and then it's all uphill from there.
I mean, I'm with Rosh 100% on that. Maybe drop him, try, and Council's been known to try different things. We've had cleanup hitters batting lead off before and things like that, and sometimes that can spark, and sometimes it doesn't. But you got to think in the back of some of these pitchers' mind, they still know that Yelich was an MVP. He's still a force, regardless of his batting average, and quite frankly, I think that's a weapon in itself. Whether it's 220 or 340,
Well, that's the thing is right now. I mean, you look at his stats. You look how we haven't been healthy one bit, and we're 7 games up on the Reds, and I think the 3rd best record in the MLB. So if we could somehow get healthy, Yelich returns to form. I mean,
watch out.
Yeah, pitching's the number one thing you need in the playoffs. I mean, you got 2 to 3 good starters, and you can go a long ways, and we have that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who? Side note, like, do we think it's just going to be the Dodgers again? Like, do you guys what do you guys think?
I don't know. The Giants are just like an all around team.
Yeah, you keep on expecting the Giants to fall off here, right? And the
they're not.
But they're not. It's the Dodgers to lose, obviously. But in the playoffs, you get hot pitchers. You get a pitcher that gets roughed up a bit. Kershaw's been known to struggle in the playoffs.
Scherzer they have now, but
Scherzer's just a stud.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? I mean, I think it's the Dodgers who lose, obviously, but
yeah.
And like I kind of told you guys how bad it is, but I'd rather have the number 2 seed than the 1 seed. But like Jay Green said, he just wants to make playoffs.
What's your rationale? But what's your rationale for that, Matt?
I just think you look at the NL East, and that they're just they're not good. I mean, you got the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves. They're all just kind of just fighting at each other. Yeah. And then you look at the 3 teams from the West, or the 3 other teams that will probably make the playoffs would be, the Padres, the Giants, the Dodgers. I mean, you could maybe the Reds maybe catch the Padres, but I don't want to play anybody out in the West until we get to the NLCS.
Yeah, that's fair. I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, man, it's already August. That's gonna be winding down here. I don't even know how many. Can't be many games left. So gonna be an interesting end of the season here for the old Brew Crew. But I wanted to talk about something really quick, and I do have this on the agenda. I saw an article, and I guess Jay, you might have told us, and I just spaced it, I guess, a little bit. But for those of you, he does a really good job. And Jay Green, I don't know if you remember his name. I don't remember the guy's name, but he runs the Facebook accounts like Sauk County Hockey or something like that.
Jim Den Hollander. Yep.
Yeah. So I found his page probably like during that last hockey season. It's just kind of a cool way for me. I'm like, obviously not in the area, but he posts. He obviously has a lot of RWD stuff. He does some sock stuff, a lot of youth hockey stuff, which is really cool. But he had an interesting article on there. So obviously, for those of you that don't know, the Badger is this all sports?
Just hockey right now.
Just hockey. Okay, yeah, so just hockey. There is no Badger North. There is no Badger South. We now have a Badger East and a Badger West for RWD hockey. And in the West, it is now Wanakee and DeForest are in the East. They're gone. You now have RWD, Portage, Baraboo, Sauk, Edgewood, Monroe, and who else?
Oregon. And Beaver Dam went to the East. Yep.
Yes, so you have 6 teams, and I guess, and obviously I know Jay Green, you're probably not going to comment on this, but to me, I just don't understand that. And so who's in the East now? I guess. Do you even know?
So I mean, it'd be Wanakee, DeForest, Beaver Dam.
Yep.
And then I want to say it's Stoughton.
Okay.
And that would mean Monona Grove, McFarland.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And maybe Milton. I don't know.
Yeah, Milton's probably in that. But I don't know. I guess just the biggest thing for me is, like, I know for myself, when I played 3 years, like, it was just always a lot of fun playing against DeForest. It was a lot. And, like, obviously I know Wanakee, they weren't maybe as good when I was in high school, or when us 3 were in 4 were in high school, but they've obviously had, a few good teams in the past too. And, I don't know, I think it's just going to be really interesting just to see. I mean, from what it sounds, Jeremy, it does sound like you guys are going to have a good squad this year. Obviously you have a senior goaltender there as well, which who I enjoy watching. I've obviously enjoy watching him kind of come up through the ranks throughout the years and stuff like that. He's obviously one of the more talented goaltenders in the area down there. So I don't know I guess. I don't know. Did you want to comment at all?
Nah, the only thing I'll say is yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. We talked about it with the football too. You know, like they get used to playing these guys, and they're not rivalries, but you want to beat them like every year. Like they're kind of rivalries. I mean, not rivalry in the sense of Baraboo Reedsburg, you know, or Sauk Reedsburg, but at the same time, it's just like it's unfortunate because, I mean, yeah, and a personal, you know, you develop relationships with the other coaches, you know,
Yeah.
really good guys, and that it's just like, okay, well, we can schedule non-conferences, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, not the same.
Is your guys so cool? And I want to talk about this. I'm glad we're talking about you guys are coming to Ashland this year.
Yeah, we are. Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So, and you're going to be, I heard you're catching one of our games.
Well, I don't know if we are or not. Are you going to be on the road?
No, so I talked to this is, I don't know, breaking news here. You guys are going to play Ashland in the morning, and then we play like right after, or like you guys are playing afternoon, and then
1
we're
o'clock
playing
Saturday game or what?
Yeah, something like that. I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But
well, I don't. Yeah, I mean that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I know.
I'm looking forward to that because I know we're at home, so that's it's going to be really cool to just be able to watch you guys.
Yeah. That's exciting. We'll have to talk more about that.
Yeah.
That
And you guys are playing Hayward too, then, right?
Yeah,
The
Hayward.
night before?
Yeah, I think so. We like going up there. They got a nice place. Kind of a nice what do you call it? Environment. Arena there. So I like going there.
Chris, real quick, because Matt was obviously a Madison Capital, but besides Baraboo for us, because when you played, it was just Reedsburg. But was there another team that maybe you just got up for a little bit more?
Sauk.
Any other team besides, or just?
Not really. I mean, not me personally. It was just Baraboo and Sauk, and Baraboo because, you know, we faced them every single year in youth, so it's the same, and it was just the same kids over and over again, and they always had our number, and then finally, you know, we got to them, and then they get to us, and it was just a good battle. And then Sauk kind of jumped in high school because they just had some dudes that like to run their mouths a little bit, so that always juiced us up a little bit too.
That was the Dells was like.
I was just gonna say, wasn't that the Dells?
Yeah, but the Dells, I mean, honestly, they were a two-trick pony. They had two dudes, and that was it. You know.
But that was the thing too with them. It was just like
that's what hurt them.
Exactly. Once they started chirping, you're like, the game over. We won.
Yeah.
Because like it
They'll
just
go to the box.
It just completely took them off their game. Like they weren't thinking about the game. Like they were thinking, oh, how am I going to get like chirp this guy or chirp the bench or yell at a coach or I don't know. But yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to following RWD hockey this winter for sure.
Cool.
So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, kind of the last little topic I have. If you're going to be a little shorter episode, but Jay Green usually has the little trivia, but I got 6 trivia questions. I'm going to see. I thought they were pretty cool. I'm going to see if you guys please comment if you guys know of any people that are still tuning in here. 6 questions here, and you guys, if you guys know it, don't Google it.
I won't do that. Normally,
all right. What pitcher holds the record for the most complete games in an MLB career?
Nolan Ryan.
Pedro Martinez.
I got nothing.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Cy Young.
Young. He has the most, and I don't have the what his total was.
You got 2, 3, 4.
What?
Second place, third place, fourth place. Were we close at all on our guesses? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry. I only have the winners here. All right. What was the first NHL team to win back-to-back Stanley Cups?
Canadians.
It's got to be, yeah.
The Montreal Canadiens, and they have a bazillion more Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
All right. How old was Tiger Woods when he won his first Masters championship?
17.
No.
21.
Chris is 21. Right. He was 21.
That is earlier.
And another side note that I just found out today, Tiger actually he made his first hole-in-one on tour playing at the Milwaukee Country Club. which one of the guy who's visiting Ashland area, he played that course a couple weeks ago. Little side note. All right. Interest. This is, I don't know if you guys will get this. What material was first used to cover baseballs?
I want to say it's like some leather, some type of leather.
Sheepskin.
Some sort of skin.
Chris is kind of close here.
I don't know.
Well, cowhide.
Cowhide. Okay.
Cowhide.
Yeah. Cowhide.
Okay.
All right, 2 more here.
Okay.
Who won the first ever World Series in baseball in the 1950s?
I'm gonna say it's like it's not a team that's present. Like it's the city, but it's probably not a team. Does that make sense? Am I close there?
Who'd you say?
Like the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Think of an old team.
No, that's not right, Jagger.
No, okay.
Detroit.
Nope.
Cleveland.
No, the New York Yankees.
So
Wait, say that question again.
Who won the first ever World Series in baseball in the 50s?
in the 50s. Okay. Well,
The New York Yankees.
Okay.
trick question. You feel good about yourself?
Yeah. What?
All right, this one was okay. This is my last one. I found this one absolutely hilarious, and I hope you guys can get this. But all right, what is the only team in the NFL to neither host nor play in the Super Bowl?
Cleveland.
Yeah,
Gotta be Cleveland.
Cleveland Browns. They've
Gonna,
never played in it, and obviously they've never hosted it, being just in Cleveland. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Interesting.
So
okay.
But
yeah. I mean, congrats to Krista again. Super exciting. Hopefully she's paying attention.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'll send her a message right after we get off.
And apparel if someone wants to talk about that.
Matt stole the words right out of me. I was just going to talk about that. I guess one last thing, and I want to ask you guys. Maybe we can get started doing this. But any plans for the upcoming weekend here, fellas? Obviously, for Matt and I, we're going to Lake McCann in Weyerhaeuser, Wisconsin, to celebrate my 2 children, Henry and Hadley's. Henry's going to be 4. His birthday's both their birthdays are a little later, but we're celebrating both their birthdays this weekend. Henry's going to be 4 and Hadley's going to be 2. So we have a bunch of family getting together. Big Mike making his first appearance to the lake, so looking forward to that. We got to take him around and check out all the lakes on the good old chain there. So, but Jay Green, Rosh, what do you guys got going on this weekend?
I don't have anything actually. I did, however, schedule a flight out to see Rosh mid-September.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go check out some Legend football, see Roshold's new place. A little self-care, as they like to say it, for myself. But no, I don't got anything planned for this weekend. Probably some cocoa and some Netflix.
Some big boomers.
Some big boomers.
Oh, we've been getting those, haven't we, Jay?
Yeah, we have. Yes,
Jesus.
we have.
No big boomers in Ashland. Sucks. Rosh, what about you? Football?
Yeah, we got an inter-squad scrimmage Saturday morning, and then just more unpacking and getting the house to more livable state.
There you go. All right. Well, again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to send out another link as well. The new apparel looks absolutely unreal. So we upped it. We add a white version as well, if you don't like our black version. So check that out. It's all over our social media if you guys want to take a look at that. But really appreciate everybody tuning in. And as always, episode 35 is in the books. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody.
guys. Take
See you
care.
guys.